tournament arc, day 3, part 3, episode 3. And this is where I think it's gonna get really good. I hope so, at least. There's many ways we can go, and I've talked about it throughout the last few episodes. And there's definitely ways that I'm not even thinking of that they can do. I have this weird feeling that I'm just praying isn't the case, that we're gonna cut like the fight between our two leaders short due to, like, I don't know why they would, but I have this weird feeling that we're not actually going to get that in all its glory. Maybe it's a way to kind of upshow almost and make Sakura's fight look a little bit more epic than the other one probably would be, and make him stand out a little bit more. But I don't know. I have this weird feeling. I mean, I guess that could just be entirely lopsided, but I'm also not getting that feeling. So I don't know, I guess the direction that we can go there. But we have 3 of them down. All of them have kind of gone in our direction. Last one was a lot closer, and we got a full episode dedicated to it with a fun backstory between the 2 characters, and explaining a lot of stuff, and, you know, valid reasons on each side for what each person was intending to do and kind of where we're going to be heading here. But now we're left with 2 other options. I'm assuming we Sakura fights here. It doesn't make any sense to keep pushing him back more and more, especially because our leaders are supposed to be the ones who go last. So him and Joe got to get to their fight here. And Joe definitely scares me more than their actual leader, so I'm a little worried about that. But Sakura's the main character, so like him losing wouldn't make too much sense to me. So we'll see, I guess, what they want to do. But I guess it could knock him down a little bit. Everybody else is working harder and being influenced and stuff through him, just for him to end up losing. That could be fun. But I doubt they're going to do that. So we're hoping fun, pretty animation, hopefully some very fun camera movement and everything. They've been doing a great job with that, and some good choreography. And that's all we can really ask here. You know, I don't need them to flesh out the fight too much and the things behind it, because these guys really don't have history or anything. I mean, I guess we could flesh out Joe a little bit and talk about him, but do I need that? Not really. I'm down to watch them throw hands for 10 minutes. Like, I don't care. So if that's what they want to do, I'm down for that. And I'm very excited. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you like it all, like and subscribe to me lots. May feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments with this episode or series. Let's get going with another episode of Windbreaker. Starting with some stuff on the boy Joe. This one he started. No, he already has his jacket.
Kame-chan.
But one of the boys die? Or what happened? Bro's never worn closed-toe shoes before, has he? Let's go! The moment we've been waiting for. Really rally behind them. One Punch Man? Is that what he is? Yeah, just as long as that doesn't happen, it doesn't really matter. Those little things, him included now, all of them really showed personality just by one line, which is cool. Feeling of others counting and believing in you. You gotta hold true to it now. Hurry up, you've been waiting on this the whole time. Why would you want to speed through it? You gotta enjoy it. Right. I'm really interested in this because I actually don't have a feeling towards the direction we're going with these 2 fighting, I guess. Unless they're just gonna go at it. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna have some fun. Alright. Lock in, buddy. Lock in. I'm just starting, just warming up. Bro, those rushes are insane. Look at that, little speed. Oh! Alright, because we're gonna up the level a little bit. Is that why you wear those? Holy fuck.
トンネルで俺のことダサいって言ったよね。ほんとイライラしたよ。喋り肩も。
Like a gunshot when he hits the ground. My God. Hey, that's not your strategy, bro. Oh.
今の君の方が圧倒的にダサいよね。
It's just recharging. Give him a minute. He's good.
こつけたり、それは力のあるやつにしか許されない。君が偉そうにできるのは強い群れの中にいるからでしょ。
You know, they back you up no matter what. You appear stronger being around them.
静かになるみたいに。一人じゃ
All alone as there's no one in the crowd, right?
ちょっとまだ話の途中。
No more words, just actions.
おめえの言う通りだ。自由は力のあるやつにしか与えられない。力がなきゃ自分なんて押し通せね
え。Now we're getting to it.
俺の一番嫌いな人間に。だったらおめえには死んでも負けらんねえよ。なんだよあいつ。
Suddenly recharged. He's ready to go. Bro, settle down.
てめえが俺に負けるってことはてめえの言ったことが間違いだってことだよな。てめえのところなんちゃって信仰の理屈ならそういうことだろうが。
Also means that bro is exactly what he claimed you to be.
巣に乗るなよ。
Holy. You ever been kicked or punched in the fucking gut like that, bro? Oh my God. I think you got hit in the chest, actually. Either way, bro. That gotta hurt, especially with those things on.
ここにいる全員が常に上を目指し自分を押し通す誓い。それが力の絶対信仰だ。ヒーローごっこやってるお前らとは力の重さが違うんだよ。やってることとやってることが違えだろって。弱い者いじめ比べ。
Your actions are different than words.
もう喋るな。
You got a death wish, buddy.
厨房を追い回すような奴らに。
All to make yourself feel like you're stronger than you are. Did he like hold strong or something? Then didn't sound like he smashed into the ground. Oh.
何それ知らない。そうか。だから君らあそこにいたの。風鈴が理由もなくこっちにいるのが。
I'm confused
お前
why.
らあそこで何やってた。答えろ。
Was he trying to say that they don't operate that way? But others underneath him are, and he was unaware of that? Maybe? I don't know. But it's supposed to be a 1v1 and he added some others. You're not one of us, so he takes them. Okay, it might be that.
カメちゃん、そんなのいいから早く続き。いいとこだったのに。
So he's fighting people within the group. So is it him becoming involved and being towards the top as a way to alter and change what they kind of stand for and do, but realizing at this point that things actually haven't changed at all?
どう？俺たちのチームに来ない？
は？何言って。
俺たちシシトウレンって言うんだ。
いや、だから。
俺もまだ入ったばっかなんだけどさ、絶対気に入ると思うよ。
Why? What's your reasoning for that?
行こう。みんなに紹介するよ。
Jesus.
力の絶対進行ってどういう意味か。
Person, I got nothing to say. Just climb the building.
誰にも屈することなく自分を押し通す誓いなんだって。
相変わらず人の話聞かないね。
力は自由になるためのものなんだって。沼ちゃんの分までぶん殴ってきたよ。
Getting payback for others. Look how young they are.
できたのか。すげえんだなお前ら。
そりゃ一番の自由人目指してるもん。こんなところで負けてらんないよ。
Right, I was just kind of there.
俺は自由になるためのものだってチームに入るとき教えてもらったでしょ。だから一番強い人は一番自由な人。
なんか楽しそうじゃない？カメちゃんとどっちが先になれるか競争してんの。みんなも一緒に競争しよう。
その頃のジョージは強くて誰よりも楽しそうで信仰の意味をそのまま体現してる太陽みたいなやつだった。ジョージは競争と言ったけど俺はそんな気はさらさらなくて、もともとは人といるのが苦手だった俺がジョージといるとみんなの輪に入れた。
That's what happens.
楽しかった。
He meets the extroverted friend and look what happens.
チームは絶対もっといいものになると思った。
I gotta refer to them as a team.
どうしたの？
It's not laughing no more.
中でみんなと。
ねえカメちゃん、俺頭取になったんだよね。
Do you not feel free? You chased after something and you don't feel it?
一番強くて自由なんだよね。
Well, that's what you think.
全然楽しくない。
Hmm.
チーム全体が俺と同じくらい強くなればいいんだって。
Hmm.
ああ、みんなを鍛えるってことだね。いいと思うよ。中でみんなに話して。富山さん、戸上さん。
So we start taking out others who no longer can kind of keep up with us.
ジンク、またあいつらが。行こう、ジョージ。
You're running from them. You're not strong enough. You shouldn't even be one of us. A complete change, right?
やられっぱなしで帰ってきたの？
Hmm.
やめてよ。そんなんじゃ強くならないじゃん。そしたら自由になれないじゃん。楽しくないじゃん。
Pushing that onto everyone. Ugh.
弱いやつはシシトウレンにはいらない。
So complete different from how he was before the flashback that we saw.
カメちゃん。
Yeah. Well, I don't think he feels that way. No.
なんでそうなるの？そんなことしたって強くは。
頭取は俺でしょ。
What I say is what we do, right? Unless you want to challenge him for it.
なんだ。誰にも屈さない。俺が決めるの。わからないなら出てってよ。
But then you lose your place of belonging, the happiness and everything you once felt like you had, right?
分かったよ。でも
You fall in line expecting it still to work out,
ジョ
though.
ージの考えは俺からみんなに伝える。皮を剥ぐのも俺がやる。だからジョージはみんなと笑っててよ。
And that's why he puts on the smile over and over.
太陽はみんなから愛されなきゃいけない。
So if I have to be the
た
one
と
who
え
goes
自由に
against
なるため
that.
の力でみんなを縛ることになっても今の獅子頭連を存続させる。太陽がまた顔を出すまで。
嘘だろ。
I was looking on like I'm not impressed.
お前本気でやってねえだろ。
へえ、そんなことは。
拳当てる気ねえし蹴り避ける気もねえだろ。お前何がしてんだよ。
Trying to be free.
何がしたいんだろうね。
I gotta cut it. The fourth fight begins with Sakura and our boy Joe, and we get some interesting things, I guess, to kind of develop our opposing group, and exactly, you know, what everybody's fighting for, what they kind of stand for, who each of them are, the leaders, Joe himself, the other members within it. And I don't know, maybe I'm stupid, I could be. But to me, it just feels like the way it was presented was a little weird. That didn't like fully make sense in my head. I mean, I think I got it, which I'll talk through here in a second. But it definitely felt like it wasn't presented, I guess, in the clearest way, or the most effective way, maybe that it could have. But basically, from what I'm understanding here, it almost seems like we explore the idea behind Choji being our leader, or not the leader necessarily, but joining this group and having somebody like Joe, who he's trying to recruit and get inside this group, for being strong and thinking that they can all the way climb to the top and they're going to get free and do all these things. Having this mindset behind freedom can come from you being the strongest, from you being at the top, being, you know, not having to kind of listen to anybody, feeling like you are above everybody else, and you're almost free to do what you want at, you know, your own will. And it was just a fun journey, right? It was a place of belonging for a lot of them, people who probably didn't have that or anything before. I mean, we literally see fighting with the other group already, so he was going through some stuff at the time. So now being able to find this place of belonging, especially with these people that he's enjoying himself being around, and every day is very fun, especially when you have somebody like Choji who's very high energy, very happy, very extroverted, forcing you kind of into these groups and allowing you to feel comfortable within these conversations and all these things. It really does mean a lot to you. It's like similar almost to previous fight that we had with the two guys, and one wanting to almost follow the other. And we see that again here. We're having a race to the top to see who, you know, would end up being the leader. But on one hand, Tagami in the situation has no interest in actually being that guy, right? He doesn't want to be at the top. He just kind of wants to follow along and be with Choji at the end of the day. He just wants to find a place of his belonging, find his friends, be with them, get stronger together. They can become free over time together as well. But it is this enjoyable thing. It's a place for them to prove their own worth and their own strength by fighting these other groups, getting stronger together, and standing up to those who kind of just bully and pick on the weak almost, which is a similar thing that Sakura kind of goes against and has its own problems with. Until we ultimately get to the top and things don't turn out the way that we expected. Choji is the one who changes in the situation. Everything is starting to become bad with the way that the group is kind of being approached, the way that he's treating the other members, the way that we're kicking people out just for being weak and running from things, and forcing almost everybody else to get up to our level without really giving them too many fair chances to. But you have like an immediate shot if you get into these fights, in the moment that you lose, in the moment you run or do something that Choji himself probably wouldn't do, or wouldn't be in that situation, you're kind of out the group because you're no longer on his own level, right? You're thinning out the people in your group and only keeping the strongest members that are kind of alive, the quality over quantity kind of thing. But you're losing a lot of good people, a lot of friends, a lot of just members in general here, which is not the type of thing that our boy Joe ended up wanting in this situation. Unfortunate for him. So the only option that he felt, I am assuming here, is take on the blow for that. Be able to act like you are the person who's doing all the bad, act like you're the person who is kicking these people out, who is kind of enforcing these rules and these things almost that Choji ended up wanting to put in place as a way of kind of explaining or displaying to others what we're going to be standing for. While that isn't necessarily what he wants to do, he doesn't want to see this his hero, basically, right? Like this person that he idolizes at the end of the day, and he looks up to the son that he was kind of describing him as, and he doesn't want to see him lose his light at the end of the day. He wants him to always be that person in his own eyes and to be able to keep peace within the group and keep spirits of everybody else kind of up and not make everybody completely tense and not make everybody like extremely stressed out about the situation. Let's go out of our way and I'll be the one who takes on the blow for this, and you just continue acting like you always have been, and that'll kind of give people that positivity that they need and give them that energy and give them that sense of comfortability that they've had for so long now that things are going to continue to be okay and we're going to continue to go down the situation. But that's not at all it's not really a good strategy or tactic for us to kind of have, which we end up finding at the end when he starts questioning like what exactly he's doing here or what his reasons for what he's doing is, and it's because he wants to be free, right? That's kind of what he comes to the conclusion, I'm assuming, is where he doesn't want to be a part of this group. He doesn't want to continue following these orders and this thing that turned into something that he never would have expected it to, and he doesn't actually enjoy being a part of, and instead of trying to fix anything from the inside at this point, he just kind of wants to isolate himself and get out of there, and his way of doing that is by almost giving up on this fight and kind of enforcing that by letting Sakura end up winning. That's kind of the way that the things I'm getting out of this, which at the end of the day, I mean, respect, I guess, because he realizes that he's in kind of this toxic environment. It's something that he doesn't want to actually be a part of. And he really wants to kind of distance himself here. So if he kind of loses here, it's a way of, I'm the enforcer. I'm the one who does this. Now it makes Choji have to remove me from the group. And then I'm kind of freed of this situation that I've almost put myself in. Reaching the top ends up allowing you to be free, right? Well, you're 100 the top here. So the moment that you can kind of be relieved of that duty, either you overtake him or you get relieved of it. So you have to lose here or do that, which I mean makes plenty of sense, and I understand why he kind of came to that conclusion of the situation that we find ourselves in here. It's still like shitty that he just kind of went along with it, expecting, this person to not fall further into this darkness and assuming this is the correct way for him to kind of be pulled out. But at the same time, I mean, not everybody's fucking perfect, and some people take on strategies and do these things thinking that they're the appropriate thing to do. And at the end of the day, they're probably not, and it definitely isn't the way that he should have gone, but unfortunately is the way that him and the rest of the group kind of have up to this point. I'm assuming that's also why the initial pause in the conversation that we were having and going over and beating on the two members of our group ends up coming because of his uncertainty, I guess, almost, or his unawareness of how the initial interaction kind of went and why we all came together, thinking probably that they were being chased down or hunted or something was going on between our group kind of going after them, as opposed to members of his group actually going after this middle school kid and kind of picking and beating on him, which is not a situation that he wants to be. I mean, it makes sense. That's why we initially flash into a flashback that showcases something that happened probably when he was in middle school, right? And him having to fight against a whole bunch of people at the time. And it immediately like triggered that response from him and reflected on the entire situation and where he's kind of been at, to the point that he really got left with no energy left, right? There's nothing in the tank anymore, and there's nothing that makes him want to continue fighting. There's nothing that he's really striving for going forward there. That would make a lot of sense to me. It almost feels like we're building towards the idea that maybe Choji ends up losing his fight. I mean, I guess that could be the case. It also could be he becomes completely like, he loses everything if he has to end up taking the jacket from Tagami here, and it no longer feels like he has a reason to keep going himself either. But it kind of feels like we're building towards, he's the only one left standing at the top here. He has to take it from another member, and then we have to kind of take him down a notch and make him understand that he's not the strongest, so he can't be the freest. He's really not at the top. There's other people out there, like our own leader, right? And we have to end up defeating him for that to actually happen, which would give us a clean sweep, which would not actually be the exact way that I almost expected things to go. But I feel like we're almost pushing towards something similar, maybe. I like this a lot. Go have a nice long talk, but all the characters kind of coming up and having their own way of like saying things, like saying good luck, or like just giving him some words of encouragement going into his fight, and they all really showcase their personalities in like a single line of the things that they say. We talk, it's a conversation, right? That's what we got to get through. Immediately doesn't go our way too much. He just kind of fucking rushes us and annihilates us at every turn. But we have, you know, your standard fighting back and forth moments, I would say, where we have moments where we're kind of being completely beaten on, and then we switch a little bit, and we have moments where we're doing things. But at no point, I will say, at no point did I really feel like Sakura was having the advantage at any time in this fight. Even the back end, when everybody was like, you know, acting like, holy shit, he's beating on bro. Like, it didn't feel like he was even hitting him or doing anything that made me think like, oh, he's really him. Like, it give me that sense of feeling almost. It just started feeling like Joe had the advantage the entire fight, and then at a certain point he just lost his motivation and didn't want to do it anymore. And that's really all it ended up feeling like. And maybe that is true. Maybe I'm not the only one who's seeing that. Maybe Sakura himself is, and he'll kind of play into that a little bit as we go forward. We're in these damn fucking wooden sandals, bro. You're just stepping on, bro. I can't believe it. How do you keep your balance so well when you're fighting with these two? Really fun though. The fighting, I think, was just extremely enjoyable overall. Talking about him being a part of a group who picks on those, you know, who are kind of below him, and they're literally just bullies, being like, dude, I got no clue what the fuck you're talking about. We don't do that. That's not the case at all. Completely knocking out Sakura moment after moment here, stomping on his head, just straight brutal, until he says some things. He's like, bro, what are you talking about? That's not how I recall. I probably have to go back and watch that conversation. But I'm assuming when they met in the tunnel, it went a little bit similar to what I just said before. A little different than maybe he wasn't aware of it in the exact situation that we were, being able to actually see the full thing unfold and coming and just taking the jackets of those. They don't stand for the things that he wants to stand for either, right? But also you did kind of run and lose there, so you probably should be removed from the group. Which, of course, at that time, and you know, sparking the idea of you're chasing after this middle school kid and bullying him and doing all these things, of course, initiates this flashback where he gets to be in that exact kind of timeline of his own life, and reminiscing on the things that have happened when he met Choji and the way that things always were, bringing him into his world, livening things up, and meeting somebody who is so vibrant, right? The sun to everybody. Wants to get to the top. We need that ultimate freedom. We have to get to it. When other people pick on us, right, we go and we beat on them for you, right? We are in this together. We're a group. Everybody can get strong together. Doesn't it sound fun to race to the top and take out all these bad guys along the way, right? It's a beautiful thing, of course, until that day where we do reach the top. And then what's left for us? What do? Nobody else is at my level. It's not fun anymore. There's nothing for me to do. I've accomplished everything that I need to. Where do we go from here? Common thing that happens, right? In anything in life, you strive for something for so long, it's the journey that you're going on is like completely difficult, the hardest thing possibly you've ever had to do, maybe not, but you're looking forward to something for so long, you obtain that. What do you do now? You know, like what is this? Happens so many times, even with some of the simplest things, right? Maybe you really want to buy something, costs like $100. You save up for however long you need to feel like you can comfortably afford it. You go out of your way, you purchase it, and then it's like, all right, that's cool. How long are you going to actually, you know, use that? How much use are really going to get out of it? Some people really maximize those things, but some people, it's the journey of actually getting to that thing that really makes it way more impactful and way better. I'm one of those people. The actual journey of going on something is way more impactful for me and does way more than actually achieving like the final product and the thing that you get out of it. And it makes that's the thing that you're kind of chasing. That's just the end goal. That's just the thing to make me kind of feel motivated and want to go out of my way and do it. That's the experience, and everything that you gain from that is usually the better thing. That's why like buying things and spending money on like objects and stuff typically isn't the best use of a lot of that, because a lot of times you're going to end up chasing after something that you're not going to end up feeling like you're too satisfied with at the end. But if it's like a thing that you can't physically purchase maybe, and you have to like work yourself towards, that journey will definitely feel extremely worth it at the end of the day. So at this point, we pull off the jacket for the first time. We see the flashback from the beginning of the episode. Not at all kind of the way that he wanted things to go. It doesn't want him to lose his son at the end of the day, right? I won't tell anybody about how you're feeling. Keep smiling with them. I'll be the one who takes this on, right? The sun will show itself again. I believe that it will, but I have to take on this burden for the time being. Bro does not want to fight though. Just kind of standing there completely out of it. No energy. Choji is not smiling. He is not happy at this moment. And we cut there. We're going to explore a little bit more at the beginning of the episode instead of just finishing it off nice and neatly here, which isn't the worst thing, but does give me a little bit, you know, scared that the entire next episode isn't going to be just one fight focused with our two leaders, and instead they're going to kind of venture into something else, which I almost, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they do it. It all depends on how it's executed. You know, if they want to cut it short and do it, it all depends. But I feel like that happens a lot where the thing that you're really excited for and they build towards, you just don't get. Which I kind of hope isn't the case. So we'll see. That's going to be all from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it all, like and subscribe. Doing a lot to me. Feel free to check out the videos on the channel. If you comments with this episode or series, I'll be back for episode 8 next week. I hope you have a great one. Peace.